Breaking news. Major Russian ammunition storage facility obliterated. It has been revealed via recent satellite imagery that a significant ammunition dump in Russian-occupied Rykov has been wiped out. Photos purporting to show the destruction of a supply depot near the port town of Henichesk in Rykov, about 125 miles southeast of Kherson, show widespread devastation. This ammunition storage facility was of paramount importance. The military government of Odessa has declared that it has been destroyed. Rykov, in the Russian-occupied portion of the Kherson region, is a major transportation hub because of its position on the rail line connecting Crimea and Melitopol. Local Russian-appointed authorities in the southern Kherson region claimed on Tuesday that Ukrainian forces used drones to attack the Russian-controlled town of Novokakhovka. On Monday, Prime Minister Rishi Sunak reported good progress in the Ukrainian counteroffensive. Russia says Ukraine is preparing to launch missiles at Crimea. According to TASS, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu has claimed that Ukraine plans to launch an attack on Moscow-controlled Crimea using long-range artillery systems called HIMARS and missiles called Storm Shadow. According to TASS, Shoigu said that such strikes would mean full-scale involvement of the United States and Britain in the conflict, as well as falling outside the scope of Russia's special military operation in Ukraine. The leader of the Wagner says that his soldiers have not received their medals despite their efforts. In the latest development in his feud with the top brass, Yevgeny Prigozhin has complained that most of his fighters have not yet received medals promised by President Vladimir Putin for their role in the bloodiest battle of the Ukraine war. After 9 months of fighting, the Russians finally took control of the eastern city of Bakhmut last month, and it was all thanks to Prigozhin and his Wagner private army. Putin extended his congratulations to Wagner and the Russian armed forces, promising that those who excelled would be recognized publicly. However, Prigozhin claimed that the majority of his troops had not been awarded any decorations, despite his public criticism of the Defense Ministry and its leadership for incompetence and for failing to provide his forces with adequate supplies. Only the Hero of Russia Star has been awarded on behalf of Bakhmut among state honors. The vast majority of the fighters have received no rewards. According to a statement issued by his press office, the lists are with the Ministry of Defense. My understanding is that there is a kerfuffle about finalizing the awards. Prigozhin continued, saying that people have already forgotten that they fought and died there, and that generals adorn themselves with trinkets, instead of remembering. He has publicly complained, but the Defense Ministry has not responded to his criticisms. Biden claims that the threat posed by Putin's tactical nuclear weapons is real. Joe Biden, who just days ago condemned Russia's deployment of tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus, now warns that Vladimir Putin poses a real threat of using such weapons. U.S. President Donald Trump told a group of donors in California on Monday that when he was out there, about 2 years ago saying I worried about the Colorado River drying up, they looked at him like he was crazy. When I mentioned my concern that Putin might use tactical nuclear weapons, their expressions were priceless. Mr. Biden affirmed that, it is real. On Saturday, Vice President Biden blasted Russian President Vladimir Putin for being absolutely irresponsible, for announcing that Russia had sent its first tactical nuclear weapons to Belarus. President Alexander Lukashenko of Belarus announced last week that his country has begun receiving Russian tactical nuclear weapons. He claimed that some of these weapons are 3 times more powerful than the atomic bombs dropped by the United States on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. This is the first time since the fall of the Soviet Union that Russia has moved nuclear warheads capable of being used in combat with a shorter range and lower yield outside of Russia.